everyone, and welcome back to the F1 26 MyTeam career boat, back with DACIA. Today we are in Barcelona for the Catalonian Grand Prix, or the Catalunya Grand Prix. Either way, not the Spanish Grand Prix, that's in Madrid this season. But we are here for round 9, flashy of our second points finish in Monaco, after a great race I must say. Now we are sitting at 8 points, both drivers each having 4 to their name. We're going to be driving as Roman this weekend again, and looking to continue our current point streak, because apparently we are pretty much on a roll so far. Development has been hitting, and I think my driving has been getting better as I'm getting used to the new regulations, which I absolutely love, especially compared to the limousines of the ground effect era. But yeah, just looking to develop the car further. We have a lot of upgrades waiting for development, some of it failing, some of it not, but they are going to slowly come onto the car and make it even faster with each week that passes. Here is the performance graph. So we are making good inroads on the other themes. We are still nowhere near the top, but that's to be expected. We are, after all, DACIA, and if you remember, this is supposed to be kind of a roleplay of us being a junior team to Alpine. And that's curious because we are not far from Alpine in the standings. But let's go to the weekend now. You can see practice. It was actually going pretty well. I really like the new layout of Barcelona, and I say new, it's new to me. My last F1 game that I properly played was F1 2019, and back then we still had the chicane, but I'm really enjoying this new layout. Just nailing the race practice program there with our DACIA. Our upgrades really helping, and I feel like this is a circuit where it's not exactly easy, but it's not as tricky as others to save battery, but you do need a lot of it on that main straight because it's so long. So yeah, here, just to end off practice, as always I do a qualifying simulation. We are currently in P2, just behind George Russell. We are going to improve by 3/10, I think. Yeah, that's correct. And we are going to go P1 for now, which is looking really great. And you can see in the end it's still P6, which is good. Carlos Sainz stopping the F1 session there with Verstappen behind him. Where is Jack? Jack is in P23.
It's qualifying Saturday here in Barcelona, and time to see who'll get an important pole position on a track where overtaking is possible, but it's often tricky.
So as you could have seen there, qualifying is going to be wet. And I do mean wet. We are on the full blue wet compound tires for this one. It's pouring with rain in Barcelona at the moment. And I've got to say, I'm not sure how these cars feel in full wet conditions. But so far it's looking pretty decently for me. The car doesn't feel too slidey or understeery. It's actually feeling pretty fine, especially compared to how it felt on the Inters in past weekends. You can see green on all sectors, but that's because it's my first lap, obviously. And we're going to come across the line just in a moment. Of course, only using hot lap and limited straight line mode. We're going to go P9 with Jack just behind us in P10, but we can improve, and we do. With each lap we're going to improve and get a better lap time. You can see a 5/10 improvement there, half a second, gets us P10, just ahead of Hulkenberg. As we take a look at our car, once again looking pretty green. It's going to look better next season. I'm going to do my best. I have unlocked all the other livery things from the podium pass. And yeah, our fourth lap is going to be another big improvement, another half second, but the track is improving as we drive. We are going to go P15, I think. Yes, just ahead of Perez and just behind Gasly. And I was just saying earlier how we are the junior team to Alpine, and we are pretty close to them. Another 4/10 down, still in P14. And now at the end of Q1 we've tried the Inters, because I felt like the rain was easing up, and I thought let's give it a shot, maybe improve, but we we do not. You can see we are half a second down with just 2 corners to go, so it's not going to be an improvement there. As we come out of the final corner, the car felt pretty awful, to be honest, on the inters. So let's see, do we make it to Q2? Yes, we do. Not by much, but we do. We are in P14 for now. That's a good qualifying. So into Q2, it was actually time for proper inters this time, and you can see just how awful the car feels on them. It really dislikes the intermediates, taking a little excursion through the grass there. But we are going to try to do our best now to keep this car under control, to make it maybe to Q3 once again. We are in P12 so far, so we are not too far off, as we are not going to improve on our third lap. But we continue, lap 4 now. We are 3 and a bit tenths up. Now just under 3 tenths. Out to the line, straight line mode open, and it's P11, still not quite Q3. We are going to try once again, 2 tenths up through the final corner. Session is almost over. This is our final lap we are going to get through the final corner on the power. Almost 3 tenths improvement. It's P9, and we stay there. We stay there and we knock out one of the Red Bulls, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, that's Isaac Hadjar out and us into Q3. Really good. And in Q3, honestly, I was just happy to be here. I didn't know what to expect, so anything other than P10 was a bonus. As we come across the line now, it's a pretty decent lap. 31.6 puts us P9 just ahead of Alcan. As the qualifying session comes to an end, this is our final lap once again. 4.5 tenth improvement as we reach the final few turns. It's now a 6 tenth improvement, gained massively through there. As I was getting used to the inters, across the line it's going to be... What's it going to be? Come on. It's P9! So it's a pretty dang good qualifying result. I think it might be our best. I'm not sure on that, but I think it's our best qualifying result of the season so far. Beating out the House of Esteban and actually not being too far behind Alex Albon in the Williams.
George Russell will begin today's event in pole position, and Oscar Piastri completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Hamilton, Verstappen, Lando Norris and Antonelli, Albon, Stanek, Ocon and Liam Lawson, Leclerc, Sainz, Lance Stroll and Perez, Alonso, Hadjar, Pierre Gasly and Valtteri Bottas, Behrman, Hulkenberg, Bortoletto, Lindblad, Colapinto and Jack Crawford rounds off the grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
Taking a look at the strategy, it's going to be a soft, medium two-stop. I don't really want to touch the hards, since it seems like the softs are pretty decent around here, so maybe the softer compounds give us an advantage.
The formation lap gets underway and every driver will be looking to settle in for the race ahead, making sure that their car is ready for the battle once the lights go out. So as all the cars reform the grid, the drivers will be hoping to get a strong start. They'll want to earn some valuable points from today's race, with final communications being done with their race engineers, ensuring the planned strategies are all in place.
And there's our car. It looks pretty beautiful, I gotta say, even though it looks pretty basic and it doesn't have many sponsors. I do like the look of our little Dacia for this first season. As we head to the grid right now, the 5 lights are coming on. We are revving the car, we're getting that turbocharger ready, and it's 5 lights and away we go. It's a shockingly horrible start from me. We get jumped by Ocon there on the start. Albon cuts across us. We're going to go to the middle. Antonelli also not having a great start from P6. There, Leclerc on our outside. We are pretty boxed in here, but we are up to P8, just in front of Sainz there, and now Albon. It's 3 wide behind us. If you saw in the rear view mirror, we are not going to try to overtake Leclerc. He's in a Ferrari. He's going to be much faster here at the start. but we are going to try to stay as close as we can to him to maybe escape the midfield, but no, there's Albon. Maybe using some battery, maybe having a better exit. He's right onto the back of us as we exit this slow downhill hairpin and closing in on sector 2 now. It's been a pretty decent start, P8. It's our joint best finishing position right now. I'd be happy to finish P8 again and add another 4 points to our tally, but we gotta keep the Williamses, the two Williams cars behind if you want that to happen. With Alex now just in front of Carlos. I'm also looking at them kind of for season 2 because, well, I am a Carlos fanboy and Alex is not looking too shabby either, especially in the DLC. But that's going to be lap 1 done and we are still in P8, but Albon is looking really feisty. I have a lot of battery though. I'm going to stop using it, maybe save it for later. He's going to go past side by side into turn 1. I squeeze him to the inside. He's going to still be there. Great grip on that Williams, side by side through turn 3 now. He's got a lot more grip. I have to lift a bit on the outside because I felt like the car was going to go out from under me. And we are still side by side here. I'm going to let him stay in front. I do not want to run side by side for too long because that's going to ruin my softs, and the softs are fragile. Albon is now in front. We are down to P9. A bit of boost though, and oh! Albon already regenerating there side by side now through this left-hander, and we are back in front. Here's is a replay. I've noticed that that's a corner where the AI really like to lift off and regenerate. I don't know why, because it's not that hard of a braking zone, but they do enjoy that. Left 3 now, still in front of Albon, but he's looking for a move down inside. I'm going to move to the middle and force him to take a tighter line. Doesn't really work though, so I have to concede P8 again and try to overtake him and get back P8. We are going to try once again. It's a bit of a dive. We are going to be side by side on the exit, a bit of contact, but I have to be aggressive. It seems the Williams looks like it has a lot of pace this weekend. We tried to stay as close as Albon to as we could, but he just got out of that 1 second window, which of course makes it harder for us to regenerate and keep up with the car in front. So we are now under attack from Sainz. We are going to come into the pits and try to undercut those two. It's our best shot at beating them this race, it seems, as the pit limit was bugged there on entry. That happened in Suzuka as well. But into the pits we are going to come onto the mediums. Let's hope to have a good stop here. No errors. Come on, team. Tires off, tires on. No issues. 2.5 second pit stop, not too shabby. And we're joining P23. P24, I think we will beat out Lindblad there. Oh god, Lindblad. Yeah, I don't think Lindblad would ever want to sign with DACIA after this season. He's just seen too much of us. But yeah, let's see if we manage to undercut anybody. As we come into lap 11 here, a few people are into the pits. It's actually quite a few people into the pits. I can see Stroll and Ocon, Hulkenberg as well, Gasly. Where do we... There's Albon. Can we overtake him? Yes, we do. We are up into P17, but most importantly we undercut Alex Albon, who was the lead Williams when we pit. A few more cars into the pits, and I think we overtake Sainz. Yes, we do. We are up into P8. Albon is trying to attack us down the inside, but he's got nowhere to go because Hamilton is there. So he take the wider line, better entry speed, and we are still ahead. As I said, the undercut is our best option to beat the Williams cars this weekend. So we're going to try to stay in front, but without overtake it's hard to regen enough battery. So both of them are going to fly, and they are going to try to fight with each other into turn 1. Albon v Sainz there. Can I make the best of it? Can I get past at least one of them? Albon cuts in front of me. I would have had him there, I think, but he just shuts the door. So we have to concede and stay in P10 for now, but they are still close to each other. We now have overtake. And down the inside of Albon, we are going to go for the third time in that corner, still close on the exit. He's on the softs. Both of them are on the softs for the second stint. Really interesting strategy call. I don't know if Williams have been the best at strategy. If you remember last time out in Monaco, Sainz lost the victory because he pitted with just a couple of laps to go from the lead to put on softs. But lap 20, we are going to come into the pits for our final pit stop, another set of mediums. Albon is going to come in too, so we are not going to undercut him. Sainz has stayed out, so maybe we will undercut him and get P9 in this race. But first of all, we need another good uneventful stop. So let's see, optimal turning from me there, and now it's up to the guys to do their jobs. And yeah, there was a mistake. It's a 4.0 second stop, and that's going to cost us a bit if we want to try to undercut the other people. We are going to come out just behind Stroll, so maybe we can use a bit of overtake off of him to drag us in front. Lap 22 here. We are going to see some cars into the pits. So let's see where to come out. Onto the boost button. Following along, Albon is quite a bit in front, but we are going to come out. We are now in P10. P10 just behind Albon, so into the points. I don't know where Sainz is, I cannot see him. We are closing in on Albon here. You can see I've been using his overtake. Just 7 or 8 tenths between us these last few laps. But I cannot see Sainz anywhere. I don't know what's happened to him. Maybe, I don't know, he's either in front of us or behind us. But it's a big difference. And you can see here, through the final few corners, Albon gains a lot. And it's just enough to put him above 1 second in front of us. Which means we lose overtake and we are not going to have too much battery for the main straight. We are going to lose Albon. He's going to fry far in front now. Luckily Hajar is 3.4 seconds behind us, so he won't be an issue with just a few laps to go. George Russell wins the race. Yeah, I think it's his second win of the season, so maybe he's trying to mount a title challenge, who knows. But for us it's going to be our third race in the points in a row. P10 could have been better, could have been much worse. I'm just happy to be here, get that singular point in the bag.
We've seen a brilliant display of the Russell hustle. It's George Russell who wins.
There was never a moment of doubt today. You could tell that they completely had it under control, and that is a sign of greatness.
And it's time for that special moment, for our special 3 today. The podium awaits our top 3 finishers. And taking his place on the top step of the podium in gains and hustle. Well done to George Russell.
There you go. Russell wins the race, and Sainz was actually P7. Wow. So I don't know what strategy he was on, but it worked wonders. He only wishes this happened in Monaco. But it's going to be P10 for us. Another point, which is good. Jack climbed up to P22 from 24th on the grid, so not bad. Lando's still with a huge lead, but Russell is looking really close to Leclerc. Meanwhile, we are P13 and P15 in the standings, and we could climb up to P11, maybe even reach the top 10 if we have a few lucky races. In P7, just behind our sister team, I guess, in Alpine, and our closest rival does seem to be Vicarb, so Lindblad will not be seeing the last of Dacia this season. But this has been the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give this video a like, and if you'd like to see Dacia advance in Formula 1, then subscribe to my channel. My name is Don Lucio, and I will leave you with the highlights. Goodbye.